it's a should help you to swap.
Okay.
For a fresh drive. Theoretically, it should be, but two things. One, I don't have I hit mine on the drive out of emergency. That was weird. And then, yeah, so it's fuck with that one.
So we're on street.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, whoops.
What do you mean? No, because I have
Yeah, well,
Well, it looks like it has had a successful.
it was a very successful game as far as that goes.
Like,
I started grab some of the recording on what I was thinking.
More fun we played a lot.
Yeah, we played a lot.
It's 'cause
Cheered
there's
on
less setup.
wrestlers.
but you still got quite a bit of.
Cheered on wrestlers we
Yeah,
did.
That's nice too.
Yeah. Although I gotta tell you, I'm just not buying the Canadian as a villain.
I don't know, man.
He comes out, U.S. sucks. I'm just like, I ain't buying it.
You're Canadian. You don't care enough.
Maple syrup. I'm like, Vermont's is better. And the back and forth was just, I don't know.
Just so I have 2 more boxes that are going to go to MTC. So we're gonna, my mom bought like 10 boxes for something. Where does this keep coming from? Or whatever's coming up next.
So
Merry Christmas.
Amazon, like, my brother's girlfriend but she had been ordering like a recurring thing.
Right.
And to this day, they have not been able to get it to stop. The kitty litter just keeps showing up. And they've called her and said she's passed away. And they're like, the credit card could not possibly, whatever they're charging it can't possibly be like valid anymore. I don't know. And they're like, we're not
And
gonna
it's
pay
not,
you.
It's not like either of their accounts.
Ultimate
No.
in bureaucracy.
They keep telling them, we're not gonna pay you. You know, I mean, you keep sending. They've tried to send it back, and they do send it back sometimes. But how would you stop this? Well, you gotta get the person's account. You gotta get that person to tell me to turn it off.
Well, good luck with
That
that.
person passed away.
Yeah.
Do we have a Ouija board?
I was gonna say, I'll get a Ouija board. We'll hire a medium.
Do you want us to cancel the kitty litter? No, god damn it!
There's going to be a need for more of those companies that can help turn off everything.
Yeah.
That would be funny. So, and did everyone enjoy that application launch Facebook today?
Yeah,
That was
good.
fun. I didn't know but when it first happened, when it cut me off.
Yeah.
I thought the same time.
Everybody was thinking that.
Yeah, well, of course, because it logs you out of everything.
Oh,
yeah, which it normally doesn't do.
And it was
No, kick me out of Messenger
You
too.
do? Okay, because it's kept me signed to Messenger, and then it's signed
Well,
me
it'll kick
based
you out
on.
of your VR too.
Well, I was on VR at the time.
If you had it,
Yeah.
it'll kick you out of that.
It probably.
Yeah.
No, so I would think I
That's
have.
the problem with the single sign-on stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Possibly. I know the last time Meta had
out.
outed, I was able to use my headset.
Yeah,
I was
and
able
even-
to
even-
log on to Meta services about to VR.
That's something.
Yeah.
But even with the two, because I got two forms, it emails me out any changes, and then or text.
That was working.
Yeah,
I tried to change my
Most
password,
Yeah.
people,
but it wouldn't actually let me actually do
Right.
it.
Alright.
It didn't.
We're on for like 5 minutes.
Okay, let's start this show.
you working?
Live from the sixth floor basement of the Guys, Games, and Beer Towers.
Yeah.
It's the
Like, the first
Facebook
second wait, I need
show.
to log in.
Yeah, let's talk Facebook.
Let's
Yeah,
go out.
Facebook.
Facebook's broken.
I was thinking the exact thing when that.
By the way, anybody
Like, we're all
like
supposed
that
to be
deep
working.
cut face block?
Yeah, I
liked
did
it.
like that. I did like that. All right, so hey, yeah, it was today was a day we were just talking because, and I'm sure many of our watchers are gonna have the same experience. It's the oh my gosh, we've been hacked, you know, and then what do we do? So yeah,
I feel like everybody's reporting it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Second
yeah.
thing you do is Facebook down. 'Cause-
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
So it was, yeah, it made for an interesting day that way. But besides that, actually, so we're not gonna have a beer court tonight, are we?
No, we're having leftovers.
Oh, it's a leftover night. Wow.
Leftovers.
You know what's really good?
It's like, would you grab it out of the cooler? Let's see if we can
Let's
grab
find
it out of the
out.
cooler.
Leftover hot dogs are good.
I grabbed this one out of the cooler. This was the
Yeah.
Caddy Shack.
All right,
So I'm
well,
gonna probably grab
I was
a hot
feeling
dog.
too laid back. I'm getting
And
a
it's
Bud
just,
Light.
just laying around handcrafted Stone Arch vanilla stout
yeah.
from
Oh,
Appleton.
oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I like things with vanilla.
We
Yeah.
did it. I guess we did this one already. What they say.
Oh,
There's $13.59 though, so I sure as hell hope that's worth it.
It is. It's actually quite.
Yeah.
It's quite good.
It's like a $4.50 beer.
Yeah, it says we reviewed it as this is perfectly pedestrian.
It is.
Yeah.
It. You know what? It's a lager that would be perfect
Like
for
us.
hot dogs. It's
It'd be
got.
interesting to boil hot dogs in it.
I know they got boil hot dogs. It's for
Yeah.
drinking with your hot dogs.
Possibly.
It's quite good. It's a really good solid lager. So I don't have any
I just
problem with it.
noticed
So,
So yes, I did grab it out of the party
the
cooler.
hot dog escaped his bun in this other one.
did
Look,
he?
look, he's naked.
Whoa!
That's what it is. He crossed the finish line.
He
Oh,
makes him a
natural.
winner.
He's streaking,
Makes him a winner.
Anyway,
So
slightly off.
but that's pretty good actually.
we had we're recovering a little bit. We had our first of our tour dates in
2024.
2024 at EverCon, which went very well, I think.
Yeah, we've already.
Hopefully some of you caught the videos.
Yeah, they're all on Facebook. I've got a couple of them already up on. Actually, I put up a beer court today on YouTube, so there's a beer court on YouTube anyways
yeah,
today.
you guys did a couple beers.
Yeah, we did two. We did two beer courts. So we got that done. I gotta say, again, I was quite happy with the EverCon as far as the con goes. It's a very laid back con. The people who run it, super nice. Man.
Yep.
Really nice crew.
That's cool.
I mean, really nice crew. Good selection of stuff going on. Their artist alley was really quite good. Vendor hall, and again, I prefer that cons focus on other things, and I don't think they overdid the vendor hall.
I want to feel like I'm going to say this, and hopefully it comes across the way I want it to come
Oh,
across.
this is good. No, it's not. But go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
right ahead.
It was an undercurrent of what can be good about church. There were a lot of church groups and that.
Weirdly enough,
people
there
from
were.
churches and
Yes.
stuff like that. But they were good people, and they were being kind and tolerant, and it was the what could be the good part.
I'm going to agree with you on that one. It was weird. It was weird though.
Volunteer-wise, or just
No,
going up
running
to-
games stuff.
Running games, people that were there. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people knew each other from. So it was a little bit of, as you might expect up north. I mean, there was a little bit of everybody kind of knew each other. Right?
Hey, Jerome.
They went to high
Hey,
school
Jerome.
with each other. They went
Oh,
to
okay.
they went they go
They
to
go to
church
church
with-
together.
The
They go to
draw is
church.
mainly from around the area.
I mean, there was a whole church
yeah.
that came in.
It felt like a very local crowd. I mean,
Okay.
probably within a couple hours, maybe an hour drive.
But by saying that, it didn't feel unwelcoming. Like
Oh, no, not at all.
Invading, space like a clique or something.
Which you have at some.
right, and so it just felt like a lot of niceness.
Yeah.
A lot of, and that was.
Why are
that
we
was
dropping
good.
frames here?
Good question.
I'm-
So
I'm downloading everything, the whole internet, since
Yeah.
Facebook was down. I just gotta make sure it's local to my phone going forward.
That's good. Yeah, make sure.
the really good con. We got a lot of great interviews while we were in
We
there.
got massive. Why all of a sudden?
Saw some cool games. So again, we've got some interviews with the devs on the both on the Facebook, and they'll be up on YouTube within the next week or two. We'll have them all uploaded. I just do a little bit of cleaning up before I put them up on
Yeah.
YouTube.
I got to play a little more than we normally did.
Yeah.
Almost everything we played had, even Camel Up, packed up. And that was my observation for the weekend, is that, I love video games, and video games are great too, and they're excellent, thing to do. but it's kind of
Oh, I know
interesting
what
that
it
what
is.
the board game stuff was things that are tactile, things that you can pick up and feel and move around. And two of the games we played, Splendor has those nice big chips you kind of play with, and then Azul has these like tiles.
I had not played Azul before this weekend. I gotta say, it's a pretty solid game.
And we didn't play one, but I mean, there was a whole lot of people playing with miniatures and and doing that, and so I think part of the joy of a board game tabletop thing is actually being able to feel things, pick things up, and
versus like a video game show.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
I guess it just kind of shows, because I guess I hadn't thought about it in a while, and it was like a realization that this is what makes this different and fun and worthwhile. It's kind of like pinball machines too. That feeling of that ball hitting.
Yeah.
You, it's very hard to replicate that. I know different video efforts have done a pretty good job, but
He's looking
it's
at you,
really-
Ty.
Yeah, it's really hard to get that feeling of being able to feel the ball, especially if the flipper is mechanical and you can actually feel the weight of it. As
You push the
pushing it.
mechanical in.
It's just so tactile. I think woefully underrated in the board game world.
Well, yeah.
Or
So
underthought.
So the crux of it is, if you're this so well, they've been doing it for, this was their 24th year doing it, 25th year doing it. Started in 2000.
Where's that?
2024. 25 years of doing it.
Yeah, I gotta tell you,
That was
The
confusing.
music part of it?
I did not need another shirt, but look at this logo.
Oh, so the logo is pretty cool.
Yeah, and
I'm
for
with
a guy who actually sits around on Saturday
Hey,
mornings
George.
and watches
Hey, George.
old serials of
Oh, hey,
Flash
Chris, too.
Gordon and Buck Rogers and stuff, this
Yeah.
was like, yeah.
Yeah, their art was really good. So, but so it again, it's been going on for 25 years, which is great. Their growth has been really good, especially these last few years. I talked to them a little bit about their growth, and I think they talk about that in a couple of the interviews. It's just got a good feel to it. Our friends from Midwest Gaming Classic and JJ Games were up there, so got a chance to hang out with them a little bit while we were up there. Actually, quite a few people we knew were up there. As always, it's hard not to bump into a whole bunch of people you know. So so I would keep an eye on this for next year, guys. If you are looking for something to do in mid-Wisconsin, it's in the Wausau area. It's quite nice.
Yeah,
I like their venue. I really liked their venue.
it was a what do you do with your mall that's gone out of business? Oh, let's turn it into a convention center.
They
And
didn't
that's
do a
what-
bad
and
job,
that's what they
actually.
did?
Yeah,
That is what they did.
At first,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because it was hard to tell.
Yeah.
Okay, did they actually build a convention center like this? And then I got to talk to somebody who said, no, this was a mall, and yeah, they closed
So
the
like
mall.
old storefronts are like off rooms or something like that? Or
Yeah,
they just open it all up?
I imagine they did a lot of gutting and remodeling
Yeah.
and adjusting to things, but it's almost hard to imagine what the storefront looked like.
Yeah.
But it definitely feels like that. And then there's a hotel, and we think, and we didn't confirm this, but we think the hotel was built after they did the convention center.
Okay.
So and it's
So
attached.
they took advantage of the property,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
gutted the building because it's just a big open building.
Right.
And,
Mhm.
And then just
hotel
attached a
next
hotel next to it with a walkthrough.
yeah.
Yeah, with
So-
chandeliers.
Yeah, the chandeliers, those chandeliers were,
And there was lots of areas where you could close them up, and then it's like, okay, you could have somebody's wedding here, and then over there you could have someone else's wedding. and-
Yeah, they had movable walls and stuff like that, like a standard convention center. They did a really nice job. Again, I really didn't mind the venue at all. I thought the venue felt quite comfortable.
I liked it. It was
part
a
of it
good
is-
venue, and hopefully they'll see some good growth. They had some pretty big growth from the year before and this year, and sometimes growth is just real quiet. It's just it just all of a sudden you're the biggest guy in the room and nobody's hardly noticed.
Yeah, and that can happen. So yeah,
That can happen, Rob.
You say like he wasn't paying attention.
I'm watching our dropped packets
drop
go
frame
left
rate.
and while you're talking and talking and talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely keep an eye on it.
And our connections are getting worse. I'm just,
We
sitting there watching it.
We might be up there next year again. I have sneaky suspicion they will invite us back. We did bring along Cursed Halo, and holy mother of God, did people get the crap out of that all weekend long.
Are you ready now?
Are you?
Well, I am, because
I've been waiting.
I threw it to you, because sometimes things quietly grow and suddenly they're the biggest thing in the room.
I thought he was talking about my penis.
Oh, we might have talked about that too, but I think that was the thing. Tonight's topic.
What could I be talking about?
I guess you could be talking about Apple gaming. We'll talk a little bit about this.
So
So what the hell is up?
You surprised me with a fact that I did not know when we started talking about this topic.
Yeah, that Apple is the third largest, or has the third highest revenue in gaming.
I mean, that is a staggering.
Without making
thought.
a single damn game, by
Thank
the way,
you.
because
Yeah.
they don't make anything.
There's no game.
sell
They don't own.
storefronts.
They don't own any gaming companies. They don't have developers doing gaming work. I mean, I suppose a little bit on to make sure the systems run things okay. But they're the third largest in the industry.
Well, and I think
By profits.
I think it's easy to dismiss Dallas's activities.
Because he's sleeping?
No, because he's playing on a phone. You think of PCs and you think of consoles,
Right.
but you don't think of all the games that are being downloaded on a phone.
right.
Well,
There
or
is
an
mostly access
iPad.
on phones.
Well,
In fact,
mobile-
like if you think of other countries where they don't have cheap access to consoles and systems like we do, like they rely on mobile. So like it's hard for us to see as Americans mobile being that damn successful, but yeah, the rest of the world is pretty essential. That's the only way people access
Do their gaming
yeah,
Well-
anything, yeah.
Mobile is 50% of the market.
for Apple or overall.
No, mobile is 50% of the market.
Okay.
And PC is 22% of the market. Consoles have 28% of the market. So overwhelmingly, mobile's the
And
most
1%
powerful.
is still 64.
The Commodore 64 is still being a 500. It's still cranking out games.
So is there a reason like Apple over like Google Play Store? I mean,
Because nobody buys shit off the Google Play Store.
that-
I mean that seems to be the complaint. They are not actually that small. They're pretty big. I think they're in the top. They're number 6 in the top.
Okay, so they're up there.
It's
Now,
almost like the
is,
Apple. I mean,
is that stat based on cash or is it based on like units?
You will
Units out the door.
It's by money completely.
Yeah.
Right. So
Units out the
problem
door.
is-
If you did units out the door, the mobile would murder them even more. I mean, that would be an even bigger murder.
Yeah,
We're
but I'm
looking at how
thinking.
many-
I'm thinking.
how many
somebody
units
wants
sold.
to do one of these every year.
Yeah. No, you gotta think.
Well-
you gotta think
Well,
about
they're
that.
not talking about hardware.
Yeah,
we're
no,
we're,
it's
we're
like-
talking about how many games are being sold.
What
here.
you have to
Yeah,
think
I'm
about,
just
they've got to
thinking
sell
about,
a
like,
lot
Bubble
more
Witch.
games mobile.
Billions.
Yeah,
Right.
price wise, they gotta be selling a ton. I mean, yeah, you're right. If it was by unit, mobile would be way out there, way
Right.
out in the lead. Because for one, let's just say I buy 12 $5 games versus one $60 console game.
Yeah.
So holy, it would be a 6-to-1, a 10-to-1 number, if not more.
But now I'm wondering how many of these games are the ones where is it the games or is it the add-ons after where people are paying the extra money to?
Well, it's how much
advance
You
market
want
it
a double
really
drop
quickly.
on that Bubble
okay,
Witch?
so now
Yeah.
That's another
see, I
$1.50.
don't play any of those kind of games at all. And I also don't. I'm not an Apple owner, so I have to ask a question because I'm not knowing this because I'm not an Apple user and I don't play phone games much. I mean, very rarely. Does if I buy say Worlds of War or whatever the latest you can buy your way to the top game is, does
do
Apple
that.
does Apple get the money?
Apple
from
gets a
those?
cut.
They do get a cut even if somebody buys something to upgrade.
Yeah,
the
in
game.
fact, they actively are at war. But that's the reason why you can't play some games on your app. But no, you're not going to put your own store. You're going to buy it through our store. We're going to get a cut.
Even the add-ons.
Oh, so
Right,
like,
but
Yeah.
That's because
Interesting.
when you think about that,
Yeah.
when if you're Google Play and they like sell a skin, right, to the 10-cent store.
Right.
Who's deploying that damn skin?
They are. They're doing the
Right. So Google is paying for them to make money. They're just leeching off the backbone of Google.
Nah. Okay.
And they're the storefront. They take that risk as well. So when they're complaining about this stuff, okay,
Right.
put up your own site and see if you succeed. You're
Yeah.
not going to, because we've been proving for years that didn't work.
Thank you.
Right. So there is some reason for them to get.
Yeah, which ones?
I think
Why-
Apple's price
Why
gouging. But,
do some secret?
well, Apple, it's because it's a unified experience. So in the Apple world, there's a few things that have been coalescing in the
Easy drinker.
in the Apple. Yeah, I'm an easy drinker.
Yeah, just lay back and
Anyway.
drink.
Anyway,
Easy living.
there's a number of things that have been coalescing, and it's Apple's preparing to make a push into the gaming market. They've not been secretive about it.
Right.
They've been pretty obvious about it, and they have some strengths, and they've got some weaknesses too. But we'll talk a little bit about the strength. If you buy an iPad game,
Yeah.
there's a good chance that there's a fair chance that it has the same processor that your Mac now has. If it's running an M-class processor, you now have the same thing. And Apple has been working to make it super easy to port things over from your iPad or your iPhone over to the Mac and
back and
scale
forth.
up using the Metal
Yeah.
framework.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody else has that competitive edge. Microsoft's been trying to shoehorn Android on, but they're not the same.
Not even close.
When you're running, by the way, Macs can run like an M-class Mac. A current generation Mac can run iPad games perfectly. It has no problem running them. But so far, the stores have been allowed to say, or the manufacturers have been allowed to say, well, no, we don't want you to play it on the Mac. A good example of this is Call of Duty, which is almost non-existent on the Mac. Why the hell not just let them play on the Mac? It's stupid.
But it's on the tablet.
Yeah, it's on the
the
tablet.
iPad.
Fine, it's the
But they're
same
not
damn
paying
game.
$60 every year to play the game.
Right?
And 3 DLCs for $120.
But you
a year.
can buy all those DLCs. It's the same store, so you can buy
But do
those.
are they selling them like a full game? Like a $60?
No, they just sell. No, it's free. You just throw on the $5. It's the best damn Call of Duty there's been in a decade, largely because it has all the classic maps. You're not paying nothing for it. And if you want to, okay, fine, buy a stupid flaming skin. I don't give a shit, but it's $5-10 on there versus $30 on the other. But anyway,
But here's the thing. Also, again, if I only spent that much money on the game up front, it's easier for people to drop money on a flaming skin.
I have no problem buying stuff in Call of
Why do you
Duty
keep
Mobile
talking
because
about
I didn't pay for the
flaming
game.
skins?
We love the flaming skins.
I need a little ointment right now, Larry.
I'm sorry.
It
That
clears
after
up in a
party
week
was
or
more
so.
than I thought.
Yeah, the after party Saturday night might have been a little rough.
So anyway, one of the points is that they're trying to merge their mobile and desktop markets. They're trying to bring them together, and they are also trying to draw more and more AAA level gaming. And one of the big problems that I'm going to be a little bit over the board. I didn't really want to mention this
and
later.
so wait
He's
a minute.
working on shaders.
I have a question. So
Yeah.
would it be the idea that I own an iPad and I own an iMac, but today I'm out playing this, and maybe my stats and stuff are kept in the cloud, and when I switch to my Mac, I just pick up my
That's
character.
absolutely what's going on right now.
Oh,
That's absolutely
yeah,
how it
I
works
like-
right
I
now.
like that.
It
absolutely goes on
Yeah,
right now.
think for somebody who's into mobile gaming, think about being able to go home, just turn on your PC and play the same game.
Yeah,
I mean the same game.
But right now those stores aren't merged, but you can play your iPad game on the Mac as long as the developer allows it.
Right.
No problem. Just pop it up, use it. And remember, this is another big step they've made, is they officially support the Xbox and PlayStation 5 control right now out of the box. Therefore, when you carry it from there, you can use the same exact controller that you use on one as you use on the other. And now you're playing at home with your controller, and it's unified. It always works on stuff made for the M class. It's not even like the PC, where sometimes the shit kind of works,
Oh
sometimes
yeah,
it doesn't.
When
It 100% works.
Controllers are dicey on the
But
PC.
that's always
And they
been-
have been historically.
That has
Apple.
always
Yeah.
been a strength of I think of Apple in general, is that you always knew what you were getting. You paid for it, but you always knew.
Oh,
what
you
were
still
getting.
pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, you're still getting.
I literally just
yeah.
ordered a few new systems for the office. Yeah, you're
So-
still
people are
you're
paying
still
for it.
paying
The
for
idea
it.
is it worked. It worked. You know?
Mostly, what
Because
I mean,
they're
gaming
part-
has never been a strong point of Apple's. This is kind of what they're trying to do now. Is they got that division from Intel was the first shot on the bow of gaming for them. So here's another big advantage. Instead of writing to 50 different processors like you are in the Windows world now,
Right.
you're now writing to one subset of processors, the M-class processor, across the board. So now you can optimize your performance. And one of the biggest problems we've had in the last decade of gaming is shit optimization. Just shit.
Yeah.
But it isn't because the companies are lazy. It's because you got 40 different platforms to. Well, all right, in some cases. But you got
video
so
cards
you
and
don't
all
know
this
what.
stuff,
Yeah,
right?
you don't know what you're going to be facing. If you start producing now on the Mac, you now
Know
know
what you're working
with, and you can optimize. And optimization is better than raw power. 'Cause you
Yes.
can work- Now, it isn't perfect yet. They're still working on it. I was about to mention
Well, the
shaders.
AI will
The
assist
shade,
with that.
they're having problems with shading, and it's been cleared up on the M3, but they've got to be able to scale it back. They got to be able to scale it backwards to the M1s and M2s, where the performance doesn't take a big dip. What they've been doing is better.
Yeah, but when you have a
But that looks kind of
subpar
funny
video
sometimes.
card, is that what you have to kind of do? Like,
I mean, it's not subpar. I mean, it's more powerful than many of the low-end NVIDIA
Okay.
stuff and AMD. I mean, it has a killer. It's pushing an over 4K screen in most cases now. So it's a pretty powerful video card. I mean, you can. I've looked at some games and they're like,
You
holy
only
crap.
slide over 4K, so it's like
But
4.2.
I don't. I do think one of the things that that really
Pixel count.
they don't have to have hardcore game, not what we call hardcore gamers. No, I mean, is it arguable that
we've had this discussion?
what is a hardcore gamer?
Well, you could be a
Hardcore
hardcore
Candy
Bubble
Crush.
Witch guy.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly, you could be.
And I said that wrong because you probably won't be a hardcore Bubble Witch guy.
Sure.
Probably, yeah.
But that's not the point right now.
But that whole thing is, where's the money at?
Yeah.
And that is where the market goes. I mean, EA doesn't still exist in the top damn 10 because they're a good game company. They suck ass. But they know how to make money. They know how to get people to buy the crap, even though they'll play it 3 times and put it away. They know how to get the hype going.
the challenge with numbers like that I look at now
You know,
is the AAA game developers are going to look at, is it really worth
Well,
4 years of development to sell
clear.
whether or not we're going to sell 1 million copies of this game or 10,000 because people are like, nobody likes the game.
You know, I think EA started with, hey, let's just work on laziness.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
they like the football and the basketball games and stuff like that. From year to year it was basically like roster changes you could do yourself if you wanted to.
With a handful of new features, like we just didn't finish this last year. We're gonna work on it next year.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't worry. I mean, we don't have any. We don't have. We don't have animation this year. Well, we'll add that. Their left legs don't run. They're just all dragging their left legs across the field this year. But next year we're gonna fix that, and we'll add Hello Kitty to the roster because that's what's gonna happen. But I do argue
as my quarterback.
I mean, what is the state of
hell yeah.
What is the state of what we call AAA gaming right now? I just don't think. Most of the enjoyment I get out of gaming, although I do get an occasional AAA, most of the real enjoyment I get out of gaming is off of oddball indie releases.
Yeah.
And if you're running, if you can run it on your iPad, then come home and run it on your
Still
Mac.
playing Shadow Overlord.
And then you don't have to pay for the damn thing twice either. It's going to be hard to argue. And they don't have to win the hardcore people. They don't have to win the guys who got to run Because they're only like 1% of gamers anyway, or 5% of gamers, the people that run a supercomputer in their basement. That's nice. I'm not like taking away from that. That's a great form of gaming. It's fun to do hard. You know that. I don't like to call it hardcore anymore because that's got a bad name.
Yeah.
But the people who like really
Here's
love
a
doing
question.
this top end gaming, that's cool as heck. But they're not 90% of that market.
So Mac takes is currently doing pretty well in the market. Think they'll innovate anything to the market?
You mean the gaming market specifically?
Well, they
I
innovated the rip-off marketplace. I mean, come on, that's like one of the, what more do you need to make? What more do you need to make? They haven't made a single game. They haven't done
They're not
jack.
like, oh, this new game by Apple. They're not.
Yeah, no,
Nobody's
see, that I don't see. I mean, Apple's a marketing company. It's what they really do best is marketing. It's always been.
Well, they make some of the best hardware.
They do make good
in some
hardware,
ways,
but,
No question.
But their marketing, it's all about their marketing.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
Always been good at their marketing.
Are they? Then,
Not
I mean,
gaming,
so
though.
the innovation probably then would come from indie, right?
From the depths.
The-
Yeah.
the
Right.
indie. And are they if that becomes the premier marketplace, are they kind to the indie market that would then bring us innovations and
Or are they going to do what they
I mean-
did with the music industry and get sued all over hell and back in Europe because they were ripping off all the artists? They just lost that.
I mean,
that's what I
they-
thought.
they lost a really big-
I don't think there's any. We already
There's
know what
no
they
other-
do.
Yeah.
They're already doing it.
They're going to
There's
screw.
no other outcome.
There's no argument here that. But do they provide?
God, we gotta take a bite out of this apple.
Do they provide a more uniform marketplace? They do.
Yeah.
Do they drive prices down on the low end? They do. On the high end, they're more expensive. To be honest, it's more expensive to get something off of Apple's game store, generally speaking,
Right, than an
it is off
Android.
of Steam.
Or Steam.
Unless you go to games that are on the lower end, then they're cheaper on the Apple
The shovel.
on the App Store.
Yeah.
I don't call it shovelware. I mean, there's plenty of great games in the $5
No,
range.
I didn't. When I say shovel, okay.
There is plenty of shovelware there.
When I
but
use the term shovelware, I'm not saying the
Listen,
game is
who-
bad. I'm just saying.
I think that's pretty much the definition of
Yeah.
shovelware.
No,
That's pretty much
I'm
shovelware.
gonna call it
You're just shoveling
bullshit.
it on
I'm
there.
calling bullshit.
You're just shoveling
And
it.
with
You're
that
just-
bullshit, you could use your shovelware.
That's the whole point of shovelware.
There's just so much of it. I mean, we find
is.
gems all the time. It's just they shovel
No.
it out.
No,
Well, some spend a lot of time on their
then it's
craft.
not shovelware.
It's like finding.
Yes, it is.
No, that is
Then it's
excellent.
accidental wear.
It's a pod.
Accidental wear.
That's accidental wear. If it's
Yeah.
good and it's shovelware, it's
It's like finding
accidental
a
wear.
breath mint pile of shit. Is it worth it? I learned that
It
after
might
a
be.
while.
It might
You know,
be.
I mean, to be fair, you find mushrooms and shit, but that's not
And puppies.
Yeah.
right.
Right.
So sometimes there's discoveries.
There is no, but I mean, I don't. The vast end of the market is not AAA.
No.
And to be honest, is the AAA market even AAA anymore? Are we even at a triple?
Well, I'm betting Dallas would have
I'm
commented on
guessing-
that.
I'm guessing-
Is our AAA market even AAA anymore?
I gotta
The
be
pricing
honest,
is.
$70, and I can buy a $30
dollars
game.
to make a single game.
90% of my
Pricing
gaming,
is-
And according to
the last
CEOs, they're getting
year,
ripped off.
maybe 2 years, has been anything but the AAA. So
I wait a couple of years to grab it. No Man's Sky
I
is
assume you
absolutely
mean-
great at
I
like
when
5
you say
years old.
AAA,
Yeah.
I assume
Yeah.
you mean the like Legend of Zeldas and
Okay.
the-
Well,
the big
so
titles. the big
I
titles.
literally just bought VR Skyrim like a month ago. So I waited. I'm sorry.
But you can
which
play it for
platform?
years.
I'm still ready to get
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, on the Vive,
there's a
if you
good
want me to
chance
show you
that you
how to
never
mod it,
need
let me
another
know.
VR.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
fantasy
I
game.
just started getting into it.
Yeah. I'll show you.
I-
how
But
to
like you, I waited. What, that came out 3 years ago now.
Yeah, but I mean, you probably never need to buy another one. That's probably
You can just play that one forever. I
Yeah,
know.
you probably can.
Well, especially with Dallas.
Why bother
mods.
playing anything
Yeah.
else?
But like I've talked about it, like the shadow overloading, western loading, and the dungeon dice, and some of all these. These are all the other games. These are all the games I'm playing, and these are the games that I would imagine probably could end up in the Apple market
With
just
no
as
problem.
just as easily in the PC market.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's no big.
There's a
barrier
good chance they
there.
already are. If you look
There's
on
probably
Steam,
a good chance because
there's an Apple one with nice ones, right?
they're on the they're on the Switch.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have like the Apple subscription for like our backups and stuff like that. So they almost have like the monthly pay,
Right.
just like a Game Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they give you a crap ton of games, and some of them are pretty. I mean, there's a lot that I don't play, but like like those What the Car, What the Golf.
Those are hilarious.
fun. I mean, those are like a little bit over indie games, but but they work really well. You're paying whatever price per
And
month. to
there-
play
there
on.
has
Getting that
been-
as well.
There has been. I'm trying to remember the names of them, but there was some sequel to some like long-standing games that came out Apple first.
Mhm.
It was on the Mac first for the first time in
Yeah.
who knows how long. It's been since
And it
that.
was Quake. It was
It
Quake
was Quake.
that was
Quake 8.
Hey.
Quake 87.
And if you-
Quake the Ocho.
Yeah. And if you want to see Quake playing beautifully on Mac, come to Midwest Gaming Classic because we will have the Quake running Mac.
Quake Infinite. It just But yeah, I mean, people don't remember that Halo was originally a Mac game.
Yeah, well,
It was meant
Yeah.
to be a Mac game.
yeah.
Yeah, because the parent company created Marathon, and that was a Mac exclusive.
Well, they were making Halo as a Mac
Mhm.
But
exclusive too, and then
what always surprised
Microsoft
me
bought 'em.
about the
Yeah, Bungie
idea,
made Marathon. Yeah.
what always surprised me about the idea of Macs not being on top was that they were also known at the same time for being good for what should make a game good. So graphics and sound.
Yeah.
That should make a game at least
it should.
at some level.
But it has to
should
be able
make
to
it
push the game and then push the stuff around.
good. Yeah,
It was having problems.
That was the
there.
problem.
I think they made.
Not enough named chips.
I think they made a really good decision switching over to their own hardware. I think trying to compete in Intel in a world without DirectX, which had been optimized for the last 20 years,
Right.
For that was a hard road to sow because they were using OpenGL up until like the
Yeah.
M class processors,
Yeah.
and that. I love OpenGL. Don't get me wrong,
But it was well
it
past
is a
its prime.
really old.
It's well past its
It
prime.
was really old, and that's what the state of Mac gaming was until about 2020.
Right.
I mean, that's just what you had to deal with. I mean, Metal was out, but Metal didn't become Metal until the M class.
Until the
processor.
80s!
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
Then two.
You got distracted.
Then two. Then two.
Hold on. Apple Arcade.
I'm not really sure what a general ledger has to do with anything.
So now, so now that
It
brings up
has
the point.
everything to do with
So-
gaming.
We know that they've got their new augmented reality VR setup. That's terribly expensive and beautiful by the looks of it, but still really really expensive.
Yeah.
Where's it sitting at as far as it's projecting or even out?
It's out.
They make it seem like it's damn
Yeah,
successful.
what is it
What's
at?
that?
They make it seem like it's damn successful.
They're saying it. I mean, it looks beautiful. The
They just
reviews.
implemented PC VR into it, which 3,500 headset.
Yeah,
God,
it's-
you released
it's-
that at
it's
the start.
rough.
Yeah.
You're gonna pay them about $4,000 for a headset. They're gorgeous. They really are beautiful. And I've watched a bunch of reviews of it, and the reviews
Yeah.
are
Boy, that's
overall
They addressed
good.
one issue about these new gen
It's
headsets.
$2,500 better than.
Well, that
Nothing is
it's not $2,500 better, and that's the one. That's the one thing that people
These
do
budget
bring up.
headsets are already doing stuff that they're not, that they're just slowly rolling out. Like I said, we now are introducing PCVR. It's $3,500 should give me from the get go.
From the
dumbass.
go?
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
And
You're not introducing the VCR
if
in the
you're
70s.
yeah, when you put PCVR on your headset that late, that shows me you're not that faithful in your products and what you have. It's kind of like what a whole other subject. That's what PlayStation's doing. PSVR 2. They're
Right.
discounting already, and they're saying, "Oh yeah, you can hook up PC now." That shows a lack of faith.
Yeah.
Because they're saying, "Oh yeah, there's a whole library of PCVR games." yes, there are PCVR exclusives. However, if you're not a PC gamer, you know what the fuck you're doing to actually get the best out of them. And
Right,
to get
and
a
they
good
may not be
experience.
optimized for that particular headset.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
but they've done a lot of right things on their headset too. It is a new product. It's a typical Apple new product.
One thing they did point out, it's not addressed in my opinion, but point out is the need for these new gen headsets because they're so demanding of power to have external batteries.
I saw a lot of people hooking up extra batteries.
But here's the thing: is that I for my Quest 3, I spent less than $50 for
You
a
busted
battery.
into the 3, huh?
Yeah, I've been using that since I pre-ordered it and got it back when it came out, and it's like the battery. It's the same deal. It's like people bitch about the battery life on that because it's a powerful headset, and it's
Right.
like, well, this time around, because with my Quest 2, I can strap an external bank to the back of my headset and be fine. This
He
one
said
is like
strap on.
very much.
He said
man.
strap 2. He said strap 2.
yeah.
Continue.
I guess
But,
I hear what I want.
Yeah, but the way it's working now is like, you know, in order to actually get battery life and do VR, I have to have an external battery. So less than $50, I got a bank that's rated for that 3 watts, the one with the red ports that
Right.
put out lots of fast charging. I carry that in my pocket. That gives me about 6 to 8 extra hours of battery. What Apple's doing is they're addressing that and saying, yes, however, it's their battery.
They have a weird power connector on it. They got weird specs
Ooh,
on
is it a
Yeah.
firewire?
Would the
200
EU
off,
come in
yeah.
and get them?
200, but it relies on the external battery. I don't think it has its own.
No, it
internal
doesn't.
battery.
You have to have the
Unless
battery in your
internal
pocket.
battery, it's like it only gives you 2.5 hours of power, and it's rated at $200.
All right,
Yeah.
heats up
Yeah.
though, right?
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
It probably does.
I mean,
no,
I feel like the right place for that
Weird
will
power
add to the
connector. Of
experience.
course, it's Apple,
Yeah.
so they put a weird power connector on it. Like you said, custom battery,
Yeah.
which is expensive as heck.
Yeah.
And you have to have it. I mean, you
Yeah.
just do. So.
And so for once, unlike other companies where they do first, they were able to address that. However, it's like they're doing it in their own
So
proprietary
what did you
way,
say you
which
paid
is-
for like $30 for your power bank?
Somewhere like you can get like some really good decent power banks. You can get between $30 and $50
Yeah.
off
So
Amazon.
yeah.
So,
No.
Yeah.
so the upside of Apple being like third, they might actually be able to throw some cash at the VR market and maybe
I don't
actually.
think.
No,
I don't
maybe.
think they care.
Yeah. I know.
I really don't think they care
No.
about VR.
So-
I mean, other than in business, that's where the
So
money
you have to
is.
remember they're not
reality for working, maybe.
Right, and so they're not
sometimes I
selling
think,
their headset as a VR headset. It's a spatial computer.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not meant for games.
It could be.
Yeah,
Apple's
it
culture.
For it.
It could be. I mean, their
Can I
hand,
control it with eye movement?
their hand. Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
you can.
and
Yeah,
and the
I-
hand.
Like I know I can just sit there like this and look around.
Yeah,
just
you
with
can.
my eyes.
And the hand recognition
But-
on it is
but-
pretty freaking awesome.
but
Yeah,
wait
you
for
can
the
do
next
that.
There's a lot of
version.
hand gestures.
Wait
It's
for the
all-
next
it's all
version.
hand
It'll have ass
Because they don't have
movement.
control.
They have no
So-
controllers. It's all
You
hand
shake your
gestures
booty,
and
yeah.
eye movement.
Um,
So it is a little bit different in that sense.
Oh
They're
yeah,
like
yeah.
the other ones are just like
So-
you look around. And
So
you
the
get
potential for
controllers
some
and-
cool gaming is there
Yeah.
because if it's doing
What
eye
was that
tracking.
movie? There was a movie. There was and someone said, "No, we're just not there for
Ready
it."
Player One.
No.
Oh, dude, it's
It's a 2000 movie,
Oh.
right? And it was
Lawnmower Man.
and it was
Man.
it was about VR. A lot of it was about VR,
Lawnmower
right?
Man.
And they were dealing in
Tron 2.
they were dealing in the bad thing that they were doing was they were dealing in snuff VR.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh my god! Yeah, what was that?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And
that
End of
sucks.
Times or something like
Yeah.
that. End Times or something like that. Yeah. They're recording neural things
Oh.
and they're doing snuff.
Snuff, yeah, like
Neural
so
things.
basically, so the people that
Ugh.
like would record themselves committing suicide,
Mhm.
so you could watch it in your VR set.
Great.
Yeah, and
that'd probably
End of
work.
Days or something like that.
I think End of Days is
End
correct.
of Days,
I think
yeah.
that- and I
Liam
remember,
Neeson.
and I
is in it.
remember hearing, and someone
Neeson?
told me,
Okay.
Liam
no,
Neeson,
we're not,
End of
we're not,
Days.
and it came out in maybe
I think it's Liam Neeson in it.
it came out 4 years before 2000.
Yeah, it
And
came
they're
out. Yeah.
and they're like, no, we're just
And then
we're
I
like
think, I
not
think a
there
very
yet.
young Angela Bassett is in that as well.
But I'm starting to think we are there now.
Getting close.
We're getting pretty close.
End of Days is Schwarzenegger and
Oh no, that's
That's a different movie.
different movie. Different movie.
So that movie, maybe Strange Days.
Oh, could be
Strange Days, I think you got
Strange,
it.
strange,
Strange
It had
Days.
days in it.
Strange Days
Strange Brew?
and
Try
Looker
Strange
were
Days.
finally
Yeah, like
at
I
that
said,
point.
it's
That's
yeah.
95.
Yeah.
That'd be about right.
Yeah.
That'd be about right. 95 because it came out.
Ralph Fiennes, Angela Bassett.
Ah, it's Ralph Fiennes and
Yeah.
Angela
Yeah.
Bassett.
Yeah.
Angela Bassett.
Julia
Yeah.
Lewis. That,
Yeah.
She was in all that kind of.
Angela,
Yeah.
what's that? Angela Bassett was very,
Yeah.
again. That was
Yeah.
a very young Angela Bassett. She's very young in that movie.
Yep, Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah,
Well,
that's it. Ralph Fiennes, not Liam Neeson.
Well, and by the way, I think it's
A
still
sexy
illegal.
kinetic theater.
I think it's
thriller.
still illegal to deal in snuff VR.
VR?
I think
I don't
that's
know, man.
still-
There is some stuff. There's some VR out there that borders on that already.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's something that makes you want to kill yourself.
Well, that too. So
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
Apple could go into that gaming market as well without too much problem. I mean, but like
I don't see that.
I don't either.
It's just
Most
so
people don't.
expensive. You know, it's just so expensive. I said when I got my M1 that the first thing I did is I did a drag race with it, just pure processing on a video.
It did
And
really
it smoked
good.
smoked my $2,500 gaming PC, and it was $1,000. So it's affordable in that kind of mid-range gaming. And it's, I mean, you can play a lot of games on a Mac if you want to. I'm not going to get into, crap like crossover and stuff like that. I don't think that's where the future is for the Mac. I think the future for them is getting serious about getting games running on the Mac that are for the Mac and
Make money.
You don't see Mac exclusives though.
You do. Yeah. I mean, you're just talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fantasia that was made by Final Fantasy creator. That's Mac only.
Oh, okay. So
what
when
else?
you end up in that market where you end up with some more.
What else? Oceanhorn 2 came out first on Mac. There's not a lot of exclusives anywhere anymore, but what's the name of that racing game that was real popular? The Vector Racing game. The second version of that was exclusive to Mac for about the first 6 months to a year. There's actually a lot of stuff coming out that they help finance through the Apple Arcade, and then that's how it gets onto the market. Beneath a Steel Sky 2, the sequel,
Right.
that was a Mac exclusive for a while. So there's actually a lot. If you're not like a person who I gotta run this latest high-end game, which is probably most of us, to be honest, most people, you can find a lot of Mac gaming to enjoy. I mean, I don't think I'd ever actually have to game on anything else, but
Yeah, you can probably
You know,
play Donkey Kong.
but I play everything. You probably play some. You can. I think I got it on mine. Long and
Maybe you can
strong.
kind of go into that.
But-
Nintendo kind of proved to us that you don't need them to have fanciest hardware to run.
No.
As long as the stuff plays well, and if you play it,
Yeah.
like I said,
And that's what they're
your phone,
really
your
working on
tablet,
right
or
now.
Your Mac,
That it plays well.
that people are just gonna be like drawn to it. 'Cause
It works.
play
It just
well.
works. And it just works. You really
Yeah.
just want something. You want
I
something
don't
that
need
I
the
don't.
4K graphics. I don't
Thank
need
you.
the like.
I mean, they're
I mean,
pretty
some
much
people
on that,
enjoy
though.
all
Yeah.
that.
I know,
Yeah.
but not
I
everyone
don't know, I
needs
still
that.
play Donkey Kong Country.
Wait, they don't call it 4K. They call it eyeball. Wait, no, iris.
Iris
Yeah,
graphics.
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever, assholes. But anyway,
Just a subset of the
that's it.
eyeball.
I just
Just
think
a
Apple
subset.
kids be so annoying.
Yeah.
But anyway, so some of their
Well,
strengths
they're
is
like epic.
some of their strengths is things like the Apple Arcade, where for $5 a month you're getting a bunch of games to
I mean,
play.
that's what we
And-
get, and I
seems to be
download
popular.
1 or 2 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, and have
And
some fun
some
with
just
it.
I toss away, and others I spend an hour or 2 on. And for me, I'm happy.
For
with
$5,
that.
that's a good deal.
Yeah.
Well, we pay for the.
Yeah, but you got the backup
Family and
service,
everything,
and you got all the
like the
backup
backup,
service and
yeah.
everything going as well.
The addition of, for God's sake, why doesn't Windows do this game mode? Which is built in, by the way. When it senses that you're running a game, it throws the processor towards the game and RAM to the game and then puts everything else in the background. Duh! Why? Why hasn't anybody else
Wait,
done
the
this?
Mac does that?
Yeah.
It's smart enough to say.
Yeah, the latest
just-
the latest version of Mac OS now
That's good.
says I'm throwing my resources to games when they're
Right, instead of trying
Right.
to do all the multitasking.
Yep. Merging that mobile game, we already talked about that
Yeah,
with the Apple Arcade.
Which I think is brilliant.
The game porting toolkits that makes it much easier to do that.
We had a script this week.
He
Yeah,
does.
it's only rough. You can't really make anything out of my notes. to me.
But he's got
'Cause I
show.
was-
He's
I
got
was
show
cheap.
notes.
I actually did some research on it because I wanted to make sure I
He's
didn't
got
get
show
anything wrong.
notes.
Because I
He's
know
got
how
show
to
notes.
pick stuff apart. But anyway, it's not going to compete with like a top end gaming
Platform,
PC.
yeah.
But dollar for dollar in the mid range, they're going to go neck and neck now. They're neck and neck. And M3 is a really crazy.
Well, you're
processor.
buying a thing without even having to buy a video card to like.
Right.
Even
Right.
a mid-range video card, you're just like.
Yeah, you're getting
it has
killed.
it in there.
You're
and-
getting killed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Transitions are so.
But Apple has its problems. Its culture is not a gaming culture. It's very recent that Apple has even started saying anything good. They've been Apple corporate has historically often stamped on any attempt to get gaming out, and that's something that Apple employees report. So this is the first time in years that Apple has actually
well,
openly
unless
supported
it's educational software.
yes, with really bad graphics.
but-
well, wait, I'm sorry.
Turtle software
Nice.
to, like-
Do you not?
Yeah.
Do you not remember the iMac, the original iMac, the big
Yeah.
CRT one? It came with a game bundle.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you can get it with Connect's the PSX emulator.
Right, and the PSX had Gleam with it.
I believe that was it.
It had
That was
Gleam.
by Connects.
Right,
Yeah.
it had Gleam. It had I forget which.
I forgot about
But
that.
it actually came with a stack of game discs.
I had
wow.
that.
So you could actually get it. They tried back then, failed miserably, but they did
But
try.
but Apple didn't produce that either.
No.
What was happening was Mac Warehouse was pushing it, so they were bundling it. Apple themselves wasn't. bundling it.
all right.
No, Apple wanted to crush anything gaming for a very long time. They were not.
We
they
are a
did not want to be
serious
known as a game.
PC, and I would like to tell you how serious.
That's why it
Which
comes
is
in
exactly
all
why
these
we do
pretty
these
colors.
And the first thing we're going to say is no longer say PC.
That's why we made rubberized corners and made ours look like something that's under the sea.
Yes.
Under the sea. But anyway, I think if they follow, they could just quietly take over a large part of the gaming market.
Well,
if they're just
shit, they're at 50%. They already have.
I personally,
I mean, 50%. That is.
well, they don't own that whole 50%, though. Remember, right? Google owns part of that too. You know,
Well,
that,
wait.
that
The mobile
yeah.
market.
The mobile market.
Right, they own 50% of
They
the
own-
mobile.
yeah.
But they own 50% of the mobile market. That is a huge, like Dallas said.
Yeah, it's
we
pretty
may
large.
all play on consoles and PCs and systems
What's-
here, but
Yeah. Most
Latin America,
Yeah.
Asia, most.
Most portable thing is might be the only thing.
What's
is
really weird
probably the only thing you have.
Pretty much.
is I think their hardware is like less than 30% of the market. The problem is that Apple people buy games more. They purchase games more.
Oh, really? All right.
Well, yeah, because if you bought $1,000
Wait,
phone, if you're
is it-
crazy
is
enough
it
to
'cause
buy
the Android
$1,000
people are
phone.
just going to like things that drop APKs down to their phone to install it manually.
Yeah, you can. You
So
can-
basically,
you
what
can.
they're doing is they're paying for it with their personal information.
Right.
Yeah, with all their passwords. Yeah.
Yeah. That too. Oh, that especially. Yeah.
Don't just people. It is not worth free games to go use those third-party apps on a phone that you're using for your personal data. Don't do that. That's very stupid.
Wait, you guys
I've been in
all bought
security
the
for
Q,
20
didn't you?
years.
Phones are
That's
so
the
cheap.
stupidest
You
ass
can
thing
just
you
get
can
a
do.
second burner phone just for games.
Do that.
Yeah.
No, you could. No, I have no problem with. I have all sorts of
Fake
Chinese
emails.
devices. Just do not jailbreak your freaking primary device that has your personal data on it.
Yeah.
That's stupid as hell.
Yeah. Oh, hey, run super user on that. Whoa,
Oh,
no!
I saved $5, and now all my nudie pics are out there. Yay! Hey, there's my wife.
There's my
Good.
dick.
There's my wife on Pornhub. Anyway, idiots. Anyway. Yeah.
Okay, so
Anyway, that's it. That's all I got to say about
no,
it.
I think that's a good coverage of it. So it'll be interesting to see where the market shakes out.
Yeah, I don't.
These things transition, so I mean, we've lived long enough to watch a lot of things come and go,
Yeah.
and so
We've been doing this show long enough to watch a bunch of stuff
Right.
come and go,
And
Larry.
so is there a come and go happening?
Could be.
I don't think PC gaming is
Well,
ever gonna go.
Come and go. No, come
I
and
don't
go.
think that's
Changing
gonna
their
happen.
name.
I just think.
Come and go. Save your koozie because they're changing their name.
I lost mine, I think.
Come and go gas stations.
Or it's like Quick Trip by him or something.
It's no. They figured.
finally were like-
They finally figured. Oh, wait a minute.
Wait,
Come and
Don't
go
do
is not
this
a
to me.
great name for a gas station.
Oh, it's a great name for a gas station.
Oh, we
what
love-
are you talking about?
I-
What are they, ghosts who
best
don't know
name.
what sucked up
Were
means?
we like going down
We're gonna
that?
have like, oh, I gotta get these.
Yeah, we stopped, and there's a gas
You
station called
wonder.
Come and Go. It wasn't changed.
Yeah, I knew it was.
Yeah, but they're
Like,
they're
'cause
changing.
I've seen like
They're
ads
changing.
before.
They're changing their
It
name.
only took 30 years.
It's about time.
All
now
right.
if that church,
Now they're changing it to come alive.
now if that church,
Oh no! Somebody did a possible
You lost
alternate
control.
name for them. It was hilarious. I watched the video. Okay, so hey Rob, what do we got coming up, Rob?
MGC's on the horizon.
More than on the horizon, kids.
We're at less than a month.
Yeah, we are short.
Right at a
Is it really?
Yeah, we are literally
I'm
that
so
close
not
to-
ready. I'm
The
so not
blazing
ready.
horizon
So,
of MGC.
I'm going to make
is
a quick
in our
announcement
face.
that Larry's already heard, but these guys hadn't heard yet. We're going to be bigger this year.
Shit.
We're going to be
Yeah.
bigger this year.
Yeah.
1,000 square feet
They've,
bigger.
they've opened our room up just a little bit.
Yeah, so we were 45. We were 4,500 square feet last year. We are 5,500 square feet of guys, games, and beer this year.
Yeah.
That's gonna be great.
So we are bigger. We got a whole bunch of surprises we are working on. I know a few secrets.
If it works, I got a new light gun game.
That is
So
one of the don't give too much information. But I can tell you, there's going to be some new goodies in the room. There might be a few new products launched in our room as well. There is some big stuff in the works for this year's MGC. So again, tickets are still available. Are there any VIP?
Technically, we'll be at CypherCon first.
Yeah. Yes.
Same place.
Yeah, same setup.
Same room.
Same setup.
Same room.
Same. You won't get any. You won't get
It's
some
like
of the
back
attendees.
channels.
Yeah. What was I thinking here? Yeah. So definitely check us out. Do we know if are there any VIG
I'm
tickets
just gonna
left?
see if.
I don't know if there's any VIG tickets. So don't forget if you. The,
VIG gets. Oh, they always want you to join the mailing list.
Right.
Is our sponsorship official?
I'm not going to tell you. We'll talk in just a minute.
Uh,
There's a lot of big things in the works. But if VIG tickets are available,
Looks like there might still be, but they said they always are gone.
they are always
Like,
gone. You
always
really
gone.
got to get them because
Yeah.
with the VIG, you get in early. You get them Friday night versus just Saturday and Sunday.
The amount
will
you
be
can-
open.
The amount you can do on Friday with nobody in the building is very cool.
Yeah. You get to see everything.
It's like those last 2 hours at Disney World.
Thank you. If you're the
You-
your extra hours at Disney
you
World.
own the place.
Exactly. It's your extra hours at Disney World. It really is just like the extra hours at Disney World. That's a very good analogy. You get to get in the vendor hall early. You get all sorts of perks. There's the after party stuff.
Okay, if we don't have them anymore, what the hell?
No,
Are
we
they
do.
out of them?
No,
Okay,
no.
okay.
He thinks
No,
there's
I
still
think
some
there's
left.
still-
Good.
But if there are,
Get 'em.
I would not wait too long if you really are interested in doing the VIG package. It's well worth.
If I didn't have to work, I'd buy one.
Yeah. If we weren't your entertainment for the VIG event, we might actually buy some ourselves. But unfortunately, we're the entertainment. So definitely,
That's a low bar.
definitely check that out. But we'll be at CypherCon first. That is the 4th and the 5th. We'll be doing CypherCon, same room, Braid Center, blah blah blah. So for all you hackers out there, if you haven't been to CypherCon too, what a honestly.
I'm gonna have to break. As long as we get a room set up, I gotta get at least a couple sessions.
Oh, you should, man.
because
'cause-
the stuff they have for CyberCon.
It's really
I mean,
cool.
it's
Yeah.
cybersecurity and hacking is kind of like a little bit of, hey, we do this, but this site, like,
Isn't that cool?
it's like both of them are there shaking hands with each other, like.
I considering it's where, we're in the Midwest, but we had this discussion too. What do you do in the Midwest? You're either gay or you a hack. So
During the winters.
during the
Cold,
winters,
dark.
exactly. It's cold and dark, man. But CypherCon is an amazing hacker / cybersecurity convention. So you might want to check that out. We will be there on Thursday and Friday. Both days, Guys Games Beer will be providing the entertainment there. Also, if you are doing both CypherCon and MGC, you get to see everything that we're introducing 2 days before everybody else does. I get some time to get on some stuff that sometimes gets very busy during our MGC time. So those are our next two. Rob's already posted up the tour schedule. We are all over the place this year. So if you don't get to catch us at these, We'll be in plenty other events doing other things. These are two of our biggest events of the year, though. So if you really want to see us in with all the bells and whistles, these are the cons to catch us at. All right, Rob, why don't you go ahead and take us out of this mess?
All right, that's it for Guys, Games, and Beer this week. This has every week is brought to you by Lionheart Racing. All the guys of racing without the rubber hot dogs. You can go to www.youtube.com/Guys, Games, and Beer. I don't know why I said it in that order, but you can check us out there. But you can also go to www.guysgamesandbeer.net and do yourself a big favor. Click on that big old 77 on the right side of the website and check out Lionheart Racing. Also, you can check us out on Facebook, www.facebook.com/guysgamesandbeer. And while you're there, check out the Guys, Games, and Beer support group where you can check out the dankest memes by Master of Memetology, Dallas.
Yeah.
There we go. And find out what else Guys, Games, and Beer are doing. I mean, if you're watching this, you're not seeing everything. You gotta go to Facebook. You gotta go there. And you can check us out on Discord, too. So,
Yeah, and again, we will continue to post interviews. Again, they're all up online if you want to watch them on Facebook. But if you'd rather watch them on YouTube, we've already got 2 of them up. I'll be putting up more during the week. So we had some great interviews at EverCon. Had a lot of fun. Thank you again, guys, from EverCon. The whole EverCon gang was absolutely fantastic. It was an absolute pleasure doing that show, and I suspect I strongly.
Animaniacs are nuts.
I was sad.
Those guys were really.
Yeah, they're good. But I didn't
Watch
listen to all
the interview.
interviews, but I was
Doug was like, "Oh God, why am I here with these guys?"
I feel like we were sitting there doing an interview with the stoic Pinky in the Brain.
Yeah,
and then
really.
Then sitting next to him were the Animaniacs.
It was quite the interview.